Hello, Canes fans. How's everybody tonight? We have a full chat room of 0. This is my first live stream. This is Perk. I'm in the Canes Cave, and this is Just Win Canes. So this is my little post game after the Miami Georgia Tech game. And if you looked at any of my previous videos, I predicted a Canes win 13-16, and man, I am 100% happy with today's win. 35-14 showed out. I think that last score in the fourth quarter by Georgia Tech, we just kind of, knew they couldn't win, and we kind of let one through. But man, what a very good game this was today. Now, some people might say, this ain't nothing. This don't mean nothing. It's just a regular season game. It is, right? It does make us one away from bowl contention. We still got to play Clemson next week. So don't know if that's going to work out. But I think this game does mean a little something. It means something because I feel like the boys need to know that they can win. That they can win when everybody thinks they're going to lose. They can win after a very, very hard loss. Got a tail spanked against FSU last week. Came back this week and put together a solid win with a freshman quarterback that hasn't gotten a lot of reps. First full game. And he did good things today. Now, I know Gaddis is probably patting himself on the back, saying, how he called a great game and finally make touchdowns today, not just field goals. So we didn't put it all on the back or on the leg, I should say, of Borregales. We didn't do that. But, saw some good things today. Still we got some things to work out. But once again, this is a rebuilding year. We are rebuilding. We are from the bottom, trying to make something happen. So, I'm wearing my turnover chain. Kitchens showed out today. Cam Kitchens got 3 interceptions. One was a pick 6. When was the last time we saw the defense score? Now I remember a time. I know you youngsters won't remember this, but there was a time where you could pretty much expect the Miami defense to get at least one score. Like they were good for at least 7. Can't really expect that anymore. We're just hoping they play a solid game. And today they did. They did play a solid game. And I knew they could because we look at what they did against Virginia, and kept them scoreless, or at least out of the end zone anyway. They had to kick field goals the whole game, not a single touchdown. So we know that they're capable. If you're looking at Georgia Tech's record, I felt that we could get a solid win because they do turn the ball over a little bit, and they were only averaging 17.5 points per game anyway. So wasn't going to expect them to run the score up. So I know we probably have a chance if we could get the ball in the end zone a couple times to get something done. Didn't expect the defense to show out like this. But I am happy that they, they played a solid game and they exceeded expectations. The offense, though, Ja'Cory Brown. Now, I had said, previously, looking at how he played in the fourth quarter of the FSU game, that the kid's got potential, man. He's got legs, and let's be honest, he bailed Gaddis out. He bailed Gaddis out of this game. He made some things happen. blown plays that wouldn't win anywhere. I'm sorry, if TVD was there, TVD can move around a little bit, maybe extend the play slightly, but Ja'Cory Brown is able to turn nothing into something. Kept plays alive, ran for yards. Let's look at his Stats. Ja'Cory Brown. Ja'Cory Brown he was 14 for 19, 136 yards, 3 TDs, and he was rushing. The Rooster finally came out the chicken coop, decided to play. Knighton had 118 yards. Pretty good. I think this is his first TD, I believe. First TD today. So, I know there were some rumors of Knighton's going to hit the portal, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if we put those rumors to rest, but, I think we see that when Knighton is healthy, when the offense is clicking, that Rooster has the ability to be a playmaker. He showed that today. So now, this is a whole different offense, right? There's a whole different offense with Ja'Cory Brown at the helm. Here's a guy that, his arm not quite as accurate as TVD. Overthrew on the long ball several times, but he connected a few times too. The one of the touchdowns was a little bit underthrown, but the receiver came back for it, caught it low. But hey, look, he put the ball where nobody else could intercept it. So, he didn't throw no picks today. We didn't turn the ball over today. Knighton still not switching the ball into his hand facing the sidelines. He's still just keeping it in his right arm, but at least he covered up, protected the ball. So saw some improvement there. But man, we looked a little better. And we're at 5 wins. Listen, I don't want to blow smoke up anybody's skirt to think that we're going to make bowl contention. I think could it happen? Absolutely, yes. Maybe our last game against Clemson, I don't think we're going to get a win against Clemson. I would think it would be improvement if we kept it close and played them with some intensity and played them with some competitiveness that we played against A&M. If we can keep it a low penalty game and not turn the ball over. Who knows? Maybe we can, it'd be a miracle. I want them to win, obviously. It'd be a miracle, though, if they pulled a win against Clemson. But at this point, I think if we could just stay competitive against Clemson, that would be a step in the right direction. Look, this is a rebuilding year, right? Not expecting, them to win these last 2 games. But, listen, we got recruits watching. We got commits watching. We already lost one big name. I didn't think we'd lose that one. Rashada, our quarterback recruit, wasn't expecting him to just flip to the Gators like that, especially, before the season was over. But, these things happen. Hey, we're competing. We're going to rebuild. I think we see that, in this game, what we have to work with going into next year, right? And, there's still going to be some people that's going to be forced to the portal. And I think there's some guys that maybe showed out and showed that they want to be here. They want to be part of this rebuild. And, the coaching staff is going to see that. Ja'Cory Brown's got obviously some things to work on in the offseason. He's going to have to perfect his craft a little bit, especially with his arm. I don't know what this high stepping thing he does. If you go back and look at the game, whenever he gets in trouble, when that pocket collapses and somebody puts a hand on him, he does this little Deion Sanders high step. Sometimes he escapes, sometimes he doesn't. I don't know what that is. That needs to get out of his repertoire. I hate that. So he's going to need some technique when he decides to run. Tuck the ball in and run. He's not a drum major. He doesn't need to be high stepping. But there's so much potential there. Obviously, he's gonna be starting against Clemson. Obviously, his red shirt status. If he hasn't burned it with this game, he's gonna burn it. It's gonna be done probably by the next game. So, some good things going on. Like I said, I'm not one of these guys that's gonna sit here and be like, all right, that's it, man. We got one win. We're gonna get this momentum. We're gonna just finish off the season with the 2 wins. Listen, I'm a realist. Even though my heart, wants to believe that we can, maybe pull a miracle off against Clemson and finish our last 2 games. I think our last game is what, Pitt? Can we beat Pitt? I mean, we can. Are we? I don't know. Maybe. I'm definitely gonna pull for it. I'm gonna be watching the Clemson game, and actually I'm gonna be at my boy's wedding. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Stewart for the renewal of their vows. Maybe when I come to your wedding, we could talk about your cousin Shamar. Maybe we can put some pressure on him to flip, but that's another conversation. Big shout out to my tailgate crew, my boy SS, Sheldon Stewart. Shout out to my peeps from the Garrison in Miami, and my peeps from the Clock Tower in South Carolina. Wish I was able to tailgate with you guys yesterday, but had to work. Had to be with fam this weekend. So, but listen, we all season ticket holders. We're gonna run it back next year, and hopefully, these tailgates will be a lot more fun, especially at the end of the game, having some more wins to celebrate after. We are undefeated at tailgating, even with FSU. We're undefeated. We got it in, but it would be nice to hold our head up after a lot more games in the next couple of years. So, like I always say, listen, put it on record, man. 5-year plan. I'd like to see us at least eclipse Manny's record. Get 7+ wins next year. Get to take the ACC would be nice, but I'd say by year 3, win the Coastal, win the ACC championship, and year 4, 5 be a solid playoff team that's really in the conversation seriously. Be taken seriously, be respected, and by year 5, make an actual run at a national championship. 5-year plan. So year 1, hey, we'll look back at this and we'll be like Drake, man. Started from the bottom, now we're here, baby. It's gonna take time. I trust the staff. I trust Mario. I trust that if changes need to be made in staff, like offensive coordinator, maybe defensive coordinator. I don't know. Definitely maybe offensive coordinator. I'm just saying. That needs to be happening. That's the one thing with Mark Richt. I know there's a lot of factors with him leaving, his health being one of them. But he didn't want to make changes. He didn't want to fire his son as a quarterback coach, even though he wasn't getting it done. But I think Chris Ball is the kind of guy that he's going to hold his coaching staff to a high standard, a high bar, just like he does his players. And I think if changes need to be made, I don't think he's going to make any, obviously, during the season, make any changes. But off season, I think it would really look, if changes need to be made, they have to be made. If somebody's not cutting it, they're not cutting it. They got to go. Because if you and I have a timeline, I know he's got a timeline, a realistic timeline. of getting to where we want to be. So, like I says, it's not like this win was earth shattering, but it does show that the Canes are capable of pulling off a win. I said there's a lot to be said for doing it with a quarterback that hasn't gotten that many reps. Now we can get a really solid look at Ja'Cory Brown, and we can see the potential there, and hopefully we can develop that and give him the tools and give him the O-line that he needs to be more successful next year. Build on that. Maybe we can go to Midwest, and pull some beef for that O-line, D-line. We'll see what happens. So anyway, this was just a little short live stream. Hopefully you guys will see it and replay it. My first one, so don't be too hard on the critiques. This is off the fly, off the dome, no script, nothing ready. I just hit the button and said, let's go. But anyway, I'll be making a video tonight probably or tomorrow, more about this game and looking forward for the rest of the season and Clemson next week. And that's about it, man. Thanks for joining me on the replay. And go Canes. Canes by 90.